A lot of women in this generation are like alpha females, and I think that scares off a lot of men.
That shit sounds so unattractive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, when I hear a woman describe herself as an alpha, it just sounds unattractive. And I wouldn't want to. It sounds like a headache.
Wait, why?
A headache is crazy.
You said scared. It just sounds like a turn off.
See, that's crazy.
I want a feminine woman. If you train as an alpha, that means you are exhibiting more of your masculine energy, and that's a turn off to me.
Now, we've heard this statement many times before from modern women, that they're strong, that they're independent, they're boss babes, they don't need a man. Women also say that they're alpha females. The reason why this is a turnoff to men, because if you think about it, in the realm of being a man, men are competitive with each other, right? This is a trait that is inherent to being a man. And part of that entails masculinity. That's what it gives off. That's what it presents. But women will use a shaming tactic to say that if you don't want to deal with an alpha female or a strong independent woman, then you're a weak man. And that could be further from the truth. As the dude stated, men want feminine women. What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I'm your host, Sean C. And in today's episode, we're going to go through a number of clips where I'm going to show you exactly how these high value women, educated women, whatever you want to call it, why this is leading these women to being single, to having less options. But the first clips that I'm going to play are going to show women who have been turned off by men who they feel have had less to them. And in some cases, particularly talking about the black man. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, help us to get to 10,000 subs. And with that being said, let's get started.
Ladies, do not date a guy who has less than you. Less money, less ambition, less intelligence, less drive, less career. We're the only race, by the way, that is always motivated, and we're always being told to date down and to not date up or look for more. When you date down, these men tend to become very jealous and envious and vindictive towards you when you have more than them and when you're doing more than them. And I've personally experienced that. It doesn't matter how sweet he is. They will always turn around and be jealous of you if you have more than them, if you're doing more than them. So don't date men who are not where you're at or above.
Here is a list of some men that I have given a chance to. Unemployed, broke, short, bald, not traditionally attractive, dad bod, fat, skinny with a bird chest, uneducated, criminal record, small, Johnson, or a combination of a few of the above. Why did you date these men, some may ask? Because I was trying not to be superficial. I was trying to be open-minded, and I can attest, and many other women can attest to the fact that these men still do you dirty and treat you like redheaded stepchildren. So in conclusion, don't let anybody make you feel guilty for having standards or preferences.
I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. I don't know what to do from this point on, but I can tell you one thing. My interest in dating another black man is like 1% at this point. They want us to be ride or dies until they get their shit together, and then they don't want to support us in return. They don't want to commit to us. They don't want to marry us, but then they want all the benefits of being a husband without actually proposing to us. I need someone who's intentional in every single aspect.
The average black man in this country earns $41,500 for a lifetime. No more, no less. No businesses, that's what he's going to make. That's your husband.
But what if I have degrees?
Thank you. See, I want you guys to understand. She just asked me, and I told her, what is a woman has her SMV. Now, these women actually think because they can make themselves higher SMV because of a degree. That does not work. Men have never picked women based upon your degree.
The higher you earn as a woman, the smaller your percentage of men to choose from is, because most women want a man that earns more than them. Yeah. But when you're top earning like that, what's the average of men that are earning in parallel to you? Okay. And then I feel like as you get older as a woman, your priorities might change. So are you then happy when you're the CEO of this company, but then you don't have a husband, you don't have no kids, you just have money? Yeah. Who to spend it with?
Now listen, I cannot fault women for wanting to be with a man who actually has something going on for himself, right? How can you expect a woman who has worked hard, who has done what she can to get ahead, to date a guy who has less than her? And when I say less than her, let me be clear about something. I'm talking about men who have nothing, don't have a house, don't have a car, basically still relying on other people to get him through things. I can understand that a woman isn't going to want to talk to a man with low to no ambition. However, if the man is working hard, if the man is paying his bills and a man is doing what he's supposed to do, right, and he is showing that he has some type of drive or ambition, why are these women turning these type of men away? And the first thing they'll do is try to conflate that all black men are bad. I've had such a bad run of experiences. Instead of looking to say, if I've had this many bad experiences, maybe it's me. And notice how in the last clip, the young lady basically didn't want to deal with an average dude. She talked about how her degrees somehow makes her more worthy of a certain type of dude. Dudes that she may not still qualify for. You might have the degrees, but that doesn't conflate to what a man actually needs from a woman. And this is why we see that these high value women find themselves with no man, because again, the dating pool is shrinking. So what are some of the things that is contributing to this? Check it out.
White women go to college to find a man. Black women go to college to prove they don't need one. Your mothers, our mothers failed you because your mothers are actively your competition. This is why you see women who are in their 20s partying with their daughters in their 30s and 40s. You got mother-daughter competing because if your mama ain't married, she's still dating. And if you are 25 and your mother is 41, y'all are likely looking at the same kind of men. Why do we have so many women over 40 still talking about, I'm 40 and I look good, 50 and fly? Your ass should be sitting down somewhere. You should be somebody's grandma baking cookies.
Now, as I've stated before on this channel, a lot of the problems that I see with modern women today is that they are operating from a place of not knowing what it's like to be led by a man and what kind of dynamic that a strong man brings to the table. A lot of these young ladies are led by their mothers who also don't have a man. Their grandmothers, some of them are out here still in these streets without a man. Their aunts without a man. And so now you have this dynamic where women not only feel they can't count on men from what they've seen, but they've never had a man that they can look up to be able to be a wife. And a lot of them eventually want that. But what do? They put career and they put themselves first. Even when men get with these type of women, there's still problems. Check this out.
We really have to stop using the fact that my husband didn't say this to me correctly, so I couldn't take the correction. It's not that he didn't say it to you correctly. As a matter of fact, he's tried to tell you that very same thing many times, very nicely. But until he maybe raised his voice or got really direct with you, you weren't able to even hear that you needed the correction. It's not the way he said it. It's the fact that you don't want to be corrected. You don't want him to tell you anything, and you think you always right and you can't be wrong. And then when he does try to correct you and does maybe raise his voice a little, then you try to flip the script and play the victim and say, you don't know how to treat me, and you don't love me, and you don't talk to me correctly. Ladies, take off the size 12 diapers and grow up. It's time to mature emotionally so that when you receive correction, you can receive it and use it to your benefit and become better.
I think that men get a bad rap, particularly black men get a bad rap. This is the reason why a lot of men are asking the question, what do you bring to the table? I have gone on record to say I do not believe a man should come out and ask a woman directly, what do you bring to the table? If you want to know the type of questions that you should be asking women, check out the video at the end of this one where men don't simp. There's this guy in there who asks some very pointed questions to a woman to find out, is she going to benefit him? Is she someone that he might want to get with? I want you to watch these next two clips to show men are asking these questions for a specific reason. I think that the value of black men is highly underrated to these high value black women.
So about 83% of married black men who make 6 figures or more have a black wife. So I know there is a hyper focus on athletes and entertainers, especially the ones who are in interracial relationships. Meanwhile, there is not really a focus on the athletes and entertainers who are married or in relationship with Black women. And also we totally overlook the majority of Black men who aren't entertainers, but maybe business owners, maybe working corporate jobs, or maybe blue collar jobs or whatever, who are still doing well, who are still making good money, taking care of families. We don't ever really talk about them, but they do exist and they are out there, and they are the majority of married Black men in America.
In the end, it's the prerogative of these women what they want to do going forward. They're all looking for the same type of dude, the dude at a certain status who is really going to take her crap that she feels that she's better than. And that whole trope of being independent, don't need a man, these are the things that make men not want to be with these women. And it's not because they're weak, it's because if you're independent, you're telling a man that you don't need him, that there's no way that you're going to be able to work together. Y'all not getting into a cohesive relationship. You're saying that he is not wanted nor needed, so why would he want to be around that? Men want to be around feminine women. These women walk around with an air and a sense of entitlement and masculinity. When you think that that job and that education conflates to you having value to a man, then that leads to delusion. Some women are actually getting the dangers of this mindset that's going around with modern women today.
Please do not address me as a strong, independent Black woman. It's not a compliment. I never hear a man that is raising children alone say, I'm mom and dad. He never becomes overly feminine because he's raising children. But we as women become overly masculine because we are raising children, because I'm mom and dad and I gotta do all these things, right? And now I put extra stuff on me and then I say, ain't nobody helping me. Well, nobody told you to do that. There is help available, all because I was trying to overcompensate for what daddy wasn't doing. I didn't have to be mom and dad. Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love it, you're so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent, because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.